Hello and welcome back on my beautiful balcony in Cologne. Just a few weeks ago, I did a video on Helix stock caps, on how I dial in the Helix stock caps. And this video has met much response from the Line6 Helix community. At that point, I want to say thank you to everybody who wrote to me, who commented the video. That was all very interesting. And I thought I'd do a follow-up to the original video, in which I am going to show you my personal favorites in the stock caps in the Helix. I decided to pull out a stock cap out of each category, the categories being a 1x12 cap, a 2x12 cap, and a 4x12 cap. I'm going to show you how I dial in those caps, and I'm going to tell you exactly why these caps are so great, at least for me, because everything you're going to see in this video is, well, highly personal taste. These are the caps I favor. These are the caps I think which are best in the Helix, and you might have other things which you like more. But then again, maybe it's interesting to have a look about on what other people like or favor or whatever. Yeah. I'm going to show you all of this in HX Edit, and I'm going to play a Gibson Les Paul for the remainder of this video. I think this is a guitar, well, many persons own. The amp is going to be the Line6 Litigator throughout, because it's an amp which doesn't come up with its own cap in the Helix. You have to combine it with a different cap. And I will combine it, of course, with my favorite caps to show you the differences between the caps and what makes them so great, in my opinion. Okay, so without further ado, let's delve into HX Edit, and I'm going to show you what my favorite caps are and what they sound like. Okay, so here we are in the test environment. I'm going to show you how I set that up first thing. I chose the Line6 Litigator as an amp because that amp doesn't have its own stock cap in the Helix, so you need to combine that with a different stock cap anyway. And I set up two snapshots. The first snapshot, a clean snapshot with a very low drive setting, and the other snapshot being an overdriven snapshot in which I turned up the drive so we can see how the cap behaves if the guitar is distorted or not. At the end of the signal chain, I always put the LA Studio comp. These are the default settings, didn't touch them at all. And in parallel, I put in a room reverb, so the signal you're hearing sounds a little bit more realistically than just the direct signal out of the amp. That makes it better to demonstrate the properties of the stock caps. Okay, so let's go to the first stock cap. I'm turning that to clean tone. The first stock cap I want to show you is the 1x12 Lead 80. This stock cap is a model of a Bogner cap belonging to the German Mahadiva amp, which is in itself a model of the Bogner Shiva. I'm a very big fan of Bogner caps. I used to have a Bogner cap until last year. Unfortunately, it got lost in the big flood we had in Western Germany. Yeah, here's what it sounds like. First clean and then overdriven. Here comes the bridge pickup. And here comes the overdriven sound neck pickup first. And as you can hear, the model offers lots of mids, and I really like that. That's something I really like about combo amps, about 1x12 caps as such. If they present lots of mids, if they have a really mid beam to them. The microphonation, by the way, I did using the 1-to-1 ribbon on the first instance of the cap, and dialed back by 12 dB the 57 dynamic on the second one. The alternative to the 57 dynamic is always for me the 4-to-1 dynamic, but that gives us a little bit of those upper mids, whereas the 57 focuses on the highs, and I think that's a little bit too much. Here's what it sounds like with the 4-to-1 dynamic. So you see even more mids, and here's back to the 57 dynamic. And I think that's more balanced. So this is a cap you might want to choose if you like the small amp sound, but with big volume, if you want lots of mids. So this is the go-to cap. It's a really great one. And it really sounds so realistic, Kelly. If I dial back the volume a little bit. Has a little bit of the amp in the room feel, I think. Okay, and next one I want to show you is a 2x12, and that's the 2x12 interstate cap. The 2x12 interstate cap is a model of a Dr. Z cap, and it contains, well, the original, it was modeled after, contains V30 speakers, much sought after by guitarists these days. Also a very mid-rangey speaker, but the 2x12 interstate just adds a little bit of gritty highs to them, which make the guitar sound really aggressive. Here's it clean first, neck pickup. You see it has got lots of highs. Let's hear it for the overdrive tone. Bridge pickup first. And neck pickup. You see more highs than the 1x12, sounds a little bit bigger, it is bigger. And for microphonation, I also choose the 1-to-1 ribbon on the first instance, the second instance being the 4-to-1 dynamic. Because the cap already had lots of highs, I choose to add in a little bit of mid sparkle, and so the 4-to-1 dynamic is the obvious alternative to the 57. Okay. Next category is 4x12 full rock and roll, and I choose the 4x12 Greenback 25. I don't think this is a cap I really have to explain much. The old Marshalls with the greenbacks, those were the days. Yeah, so let's hear it with clean tone first. of course the distorted tone. That is a lot of mids. That was why I, well, again, choose the 1-2-1 ribbon as a bass, but I choose the 57 dynamic to add a little bit of sparkle to it. And the 57 dynamic goes great with Marshall caps. Yeah, it's an obvious choice. You see that this cap sounds bigger, more rock and roll. And well, it's my favorite 4x12 in the Helix. Last thing I'm going to show you is something which does not fit into the category 1x12, 2x12, 4x12. It's the 4x10 tweed, what does it say, P10R, whatever that means. It's the model of a cap of a Fender Bassman. And the Fender Bassman, of course, has 4 10-inch speakers, not the 12-inch speakers. So sometimes you would like to have something different in your tone. And then maybe it's an option to change the size of the speakers. It sounds like that. You see, 10-inch speakers are a lot more punchy than 12-inch speakers. And, well, here's what it sounds like distorted. Gives a good rock and roll tone. Let's check out the neck pickup. Yeah. So going over to the 10-inch speakers makes it sound punchier, more aggressive. Maybe it cuts better through the mix as well. So that's always a consideration you could have. So these were my favorite stock caps in the Helix. What are yours? Maybe you want to write down in the comments what your favorite stock caps are. I'd be very interested to hear from you. If you've liked the video, drop me a like, subscribe my channel. I'd be very happy if you did so, and have fun playing guitar meanwhile.